Hey, hey, hey. It's Kendall, Lawnbot in the house. Clint, has it started? No, it has not started yet. We're getting things tuned up here. I feel like I'm in a spaceship right now. This is kind of amazing, but super excited to come to everybody today. Let's see here. Getting things queued up. Man, it is we wanted to do this webinar. Hey, Andrew in the house. Andrew with my Fert in the house. Thanks for tuning in. So we wanted to do this webinar, and we started looking at different options. And at Lawnbot, we're all about ease. It needs to be easy. It needs to be beautiful. It needs to be easy to use. And this is the method that we landed on, was streaming out to YouTube and Facebook and LinkedIn, using some of these new tools that we have. So with that, I want to welcome everybody to the 2021 Marketing Report and Webinar. If you registered for this, if you're watching this right now, you know that what we're going to be talking about today is how to blow up your business in 2021 using digital methods. There's lots of ways to grow your business. There's direct mail, there's knocking on doors, there's cold calls. That's not what we're going to be talking about today. That's a method. Those methods are methods that I've used in the past. But today we're going to be talking about digital marketing. I'm going to try to deliver as much value to you in the next hour as I possibly can. I know we've all attended webinars that just drag on and they're boring. I hope this one won't be boring. I'm not going to sit there and read from the slides. This is going to be from a very high level, about different tactics that you can use in 2021 to grow your business. So with that, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thanks for giving us an hour to show you a little bit of what we think. I mean, with Lawnbot, we help companies bring their business online. We help them sell their services online. So with that, we work with hundreds of companies, and we get to see what the $10 million companies are doing, what the $20 million companies are doing, what the $5 million companies are doing, what the $1 million companies are doing. And we're able to codify all that data into one package and bring it to you about how you should be thinking about 2021 in digital marketing in your business. And I'm so excited to share that with you today. If you did register for this, you will be getting a PDF ebook following the presentation today, which will go more in depth of all the topics we're going to cover with the ebook. So with that, I'm going to dive into the deck here, and we'll dive into it here. So 2021 Marketing Webinar and Report, the No BS Guide. I want to say the No BS because, you get so many folks out here these days in the digital space, and, it seems like somebody's calling you from Google every other day. So I wanted to cut through the noise, cut through the BS, and deliver to you guys what I believe is the data that everybody needs to hear. We don't sell marketing services. For the most part, we sell a product that allows companies to sell their services online. We just have a unique position to be able to see the truth in things, and that's what we're going to bring you today. It's exactly what we feel that green industry businesses should be spending their money on in 2021, and how to think about those things. If you're watching the stream, I'd really appreciate if you could like and share the stream if you're on any of the social channels. And help get this message out there to as many people as possible. So intro, who am I? I'm Kendall Hines, co-founder and CEO of Lawnbot. Some of you guys might not know my story, so I thought I'd start there. Who am I? Where did I come from? Like, who is this Kendall Hines guy, and why is he doing this webinar on the No BS Guide to Dominating Digital? Who the hell is he? When I was 21 years old, I took over the marketing and sales for my family's business, lawn care company in Grand Rapids, Michigan. As you can see by the yellow circles, somebody doesn't want me showing the company that I was a franchisee for. By the way, bought 6 locations. Ridiculous. But with that, I came in, grew my parents' business. It needed help. I mean, at that point, the business was small, had about 100 customers. my dad there in the picture you see, he had 3 jobs at one point to buy that business. And he bought it for me and my brothers so that we never had to work for anybody. That's kind of the story. And, I really took that to heart. I went and played college baseball, partied a little too much, I'll be honest, and ended up coming home like the modern day prodigal son. And the family business was there waiting for me. So the picture you see here on the slide is that's at our first home show, actually, first big home show here in Grand Rapids at DeVos Place Convention Center. And it was a fantastic show. We had never done it until I came in and started doing the marketing and sales. And when I came in, I fully committed myself to the business and learning how to sell lawn care services. My dad, he was the guy that, knew the agronomic stuff. I did too, because I was with him on the lawn since I was a kid. But my mom was the person that ran the office. And, I was like, well, if I don't have anything going for me, I'm going to commit myself to this business and this industry and make sure that, I help hopefully fulfill my, parents' dreams for their kids. So it's one of those stories. It's just a great story. And then now we are where we are today. So when I came in, we had 93, around 100 customers. And in 6 years, we grew it to 2,000 accounts. The left picture you see there is our first 2 service vehicles. So the one was the one that came with the franchise, and the next is that's our sales vehicle. And it was a very bootstrapped process. It was a very hands-on process the whole time. Very early on, there were many times where, I knew how important answering the phone was. So there was many times where I'd have a Bluetooth headset strapped around my neck. And we didn't have money for an answering service at that time, right? So I had a Bluetooth headset strapped around my neck, and it would vibrate as I'm servicing lawns. So I would literally stop the machine on the lawn and answer the phone and measure people's lawns while I'm on my iPhone, like in the field, and give them a price on the phone. And I love it. I just love marketing and sales, especially selling lawn care, because it's not, in most cases, it's a $400, $500, $600 sale, maybe more if you get mosquito, but it's a volume sale. It's a speed thing, right? We got to be fast. We got to be quick. It's very important. And as you can see, we grew this business very fast and very quick. And now, here's a picture of the team of when I left. Some of our technicians. There's me and my wife and my business partner that we bought the business from my parents after growing it, by the way. They retired. There's our warehouse, all the trucks and everything. And I'll be the first to say it. I'm not production focused. I am marketing and sales driven focused. And in this business, as we all know, you need the 3 legs to the stool. You need the sales, right? You need the customer service, the great people on the phone serving the customers. And then you need sales. So sales, production, and customer service. And my specialty has always been the sales and marketing. So my brother here, Jordan Hines, he is now the owner of that business, him and his fiance, Angelica. So they bought the business from me last year and took that over and are doing a fantastic job. But with that growth, there came an idea. I said, with all of this things going on, we're generating thousands of leads with all of the information I'm about to share with you. We use these same methods in many cases to dominate our local market and ensure that we're showing up at the top of the list, that we're getting the digital leads, that we're coming up first. So that what I'm about to share with you in these future slides prompted the idea for Lawnbot. Because we generated so much interest, so much demand. Even with the sales team, we weren't able to fulfill that demand. We were missing phone calls. People were going to voicemail in the spring. And we know as green industry owners that speed to lead is crucial. And we make most of our sales in those 2 or 3 months in the spring. So that's where this idea came from. And that's why I'm talking to you today about how to think about digital and hopefully provide you guys some value that you can use in your business in 2021. So let's see here. Let's move on. So first thing I want to talk about, and this is the first thing in the book, it's speed to the lead. Speed to the lead. We talk about it all the time. It's the most important thing in our business. Speed to the lead is really what it means is when that lead comes in via phone call, voicemail, your website, speed to the lead is what is going to determine who wins that deal in today's economy. People want instant pricing, right? They want to know how much it costs. Is it $5,000 or $500? Speed to the lead is going to make sure that you dominate your competition. So what does that mean specifically? Well, you got to have a defined sales process. You got to know when that hot potato comes in, who's it going to? And then once it goes to that person, that department, is it one person? Is it 5 people? Once that thing comes in, who's handling it? Right? What probing questions are they asking on the phone? Do you have a set sales process that you ask every time? We dive into that more in the ebook here. You'll be able to read about the probing questions and things like that. But that's something to think about. Do you have a written down sales process? When that lead comes in, who's handling it? Where's it going? What probing questions are we asking the homeowner to qualify, right? And then also pair them up with the correct program to sell them. Number 2, I took the biggest bullet points out of the book. There's probably 6 or 7 here, which will be in the ebook, but I took the biggest bullet points because, like I said, we only have an hour. We might go a little over, but I want to deliver the most value as possible to you today. This is something that's huge. I think every business needs to be doing this in 2021. You need to participate in the texting economy. It is crucial to make sure that you outperform your competition. What does that mean specifically? Well, that number on your trucks, that number that you put on those beautiful direct mail pieces, that number that's on your Google Places listing, customers are able to text that, and you would be damn surprised. I was, when we added it to our business. We turned the number on the trucks to a textable number, and without even telling people we did it, you are amazed with how many people are trying to text you that you don't even know they're trying to text you if you're not doing it. So we use Captivated personally at our company. Captivated is also exciting if you use Railgrain because it's going to be fully integrated into their software. And we're also looking at integration points for Lawnbot as well. So I think every business, for speed to lead purposes, needs to be utilizing text messaging. And like I said, you can look at it there. I'm going to send this deck out. I'm going to send this ebook, and it's going to have all the instructions that you need to do for that. So texting's huge. A lot of people text, but it's important that it needs to come from your existing business number. It needs to be one number, and it needs to be two-way, right? So even if your sales team is doing telemarketing, they should be dialing from that number. And then if you're going to be texting, you should also be texting from that number, right? You got to have one point of contact for people. What's beautiful about Captivated is that you're able to actually thread the conversations and assign users within your organization. So it keeps everything beautiful and organized. There's a mobile app and there's a desktop app. What that means is you can text from your computer. What does that also mean? Well, it brings us into step 3. We as company owners, okay, we need to write up every lead. A lot of people don't, and I'm really surprised by it. When every lead that comes into your business needs to see a proposal to buy. They need to get a price over the phone or through Lawnbot, right? If you're using that type of a tool, they need to be emailed a proposal, and they need to be text messaged that same proposal. That's where Captivated gets super exciting, and that they're not paying us by any means for this. I am just a big believer in beautiful products and products that help companies, and their product's awesome. They listen to user feedback. They're implementing user feedback. Check it out. Not endorsed at all for this by any means. We're not any kind of affiliate or anything. I just believe that every business needs to be doing that. So huge takeaway, write up every deal. A lot of companies don't. And just by doing that simple thing, you're going to be able to edge out your competition. You'd be surprised. A lot of people, especially the phone sales guys out there, they're like, well, I don't know what they want. Well, what's your most popular program, Jim? Like, send them a quote for your 6-step program. Because I know you feel me as lawn care owners. How many leads come in and it's like, damn, I've never. You get their voicemail and they're playing phone tag and then you never hear from them again. Like, that's a missed opportunity in my eyes. They expressed interest. They said, hey, they took the time to fill out my web form. We tried calling them, like, because people say, oh, well, phone is the best close, right? Which it is, right? Of course, phone is. You're talking to a human. Should be. But what if you don't get them on the phone? That happens so much. You should absolutely be writing up every deal. You cannot sell something at all, whether it's lawn care, bananas, whatever. You can't sell something without proposing something to somebody, right? How am I supposed to buy something from you if you've never proposed anything to me to buy that service? So what we recommend is to mail, email, SMS, an omni-channel approach to speed the lead. That lead comes in. Hopefully you're using Lawnbot. They get an instant price. If Lawnbot closes them, great. If they don't, then it goes into your regular funnel. From there, salesperson hits them on the phone. If they don't get them on the phone, that person should be getting a proposal emailed and texted to them within minutes of that lead coming in. Until you actually get them on the phone, you can figure out what exactly they want. So I get super fired up about this because at Lawn Doctor, we had some old school True Green guys, and I love True Green. They are great at marketing and selling their services. You got to give them credit for that at least. And they wouldn't do the follow up. They were one and done guys. They tried to get them on the phone. If they didn't close them on the phone, they didn't follow up. But as we know, like, most of your deals are made in the follow up. So I'm a big believer in that. You gotta write up every deal, because if you don't propose something to somebody, they can't buy it. So that brings us into tech basics, okay? A lot of companies that we see come in, and this might not apply to your company, depending on how large it is, depending on your web company, how good that web company is. A lot of companies we see that come through our doors sometimes aren't doing the basics correctly, right? So this is what I want to cover here. Maybe you're familiar with it, maybe you're not, but when you go to a website and there's that little lock icon at the top of it in the URL, that is the number one thing, and this is before we dive into the details here, into Facebook and Nextdoor and Google My Business, so that's coming up. But for tech basics, you want to make sure that you have a secure site, SSL secure. And what that is that little lock icon, whether it's on an iPhone or Google Chrome, whatever it is, there's that little lock icon. Or if you don't have SSL, and by the way, this is in the ebook too, if you don't have SSL, it will say not secure. Well, if I'm a homeowner and I go to your website and I see not secure, do you think I'm a little freaked out by that in today's world where everybody's pushing all this tech security type stuff narrative? I think I'm a little worried about that if your website says not secure. So number one, make sure your website's secure. Two, make sure your business listings are accurate across all of the listing services. So obviously Google is number one, but you want consistent information between Google, Yelp, Bing, Facebook, all of that. You want the same phone number, the same address, the same website. You want that info to be consistent. There's lots of benefits that come from consistent info, particularly for SEO. And three, is your website optimized for leads? We like to have a little saying, 3 seconds to conversion here. That's what we recommend. And that's in the ebook. You'll be able to take a look at that. But 3 seconds to convert. If I'm a user, and it's my first time user experience, that's how we like to think about it, first time user experience. What does that experience look like? Okay, I'm just hypothetical here. I'm Karen, going to Google. I just moved into Grand Rapids, Michigan. Type in lawn care Grand Rapids. I browse the local listings. Who's got the most reviews? I pick a few, land on their website. But I'm sure we've all felt it we decide not to do business with a company because they have a crappy website, or it's so darn frustrating to even become a lead that we just give up and move on to somebody else that makes it easy. So that's something to think about. Is your website optimized for leads? And again, we talk about that the ebook that everybody's going to get, but specifically what I'm showing in this example is from what we've seen with the best performing companies, that they have a main call to action on their website, an actual form on their homepage above the fold. So what you see here is a current Lawnbot client. They took our recommendation, put their form on their homepage to the right here, and boom, within seconds of that lead landing on the page, they're able to enter 4 fields and become a customer. What we've realized in studying all the data coming in from all of our Lawnbot customers is for every field that you add in that form, name, address, phone number, email, people want all these checkboxes, they want all this other stuff. Every field that you add is lowering your conversion by 3%. Like, I'm sure, and then you start thinking, well, man, my form has like 7 fields or 8 fields or 20 fields. Every friction point is going to decrease that by 3%. So imagine how much more conversion you could have by either simplifying your form or specifically moving it to the homepage is what we recommend. So whether it's mobile or desktop, leads need to be that is home service businesses. Your website is your digital place of business. And what we really realize is leads aren't browsing every page on your website. They're browsing like 2 or 3, and then they're becoming a lead. So you want that call to action at the top, above the fold, where I don't have to search for it. It says boom right there in my face. If you go to any of the big national companies, that's exactly how they have it. And I guarantee they put a lot of money into researching user experience. So moving on. That covers the tech basics. Brings us into Google My Business listing. Google reviews are the holy grail of inbound leads. What we see is, at Lawnbot specifically here, the best companies, meaning the people that get the most inbound digital leads, have the most reviews. 82% of consumers read online reviews for local businesses. If there's one thing for you to take away from this presentation today, is especially in this off season, we as an industry, I think, need to focus on making sure that our reviews are reflective of our business. It's funny, in Grand Rapids here, there's large companies, a lot larger than our company was, Lawn Doctor, but digitally, they looked small. They had 30 reviews. We came in and said, okay, well, let's dominate them in digital. And I think this is an easy playing field for people to compete on, to dominate in the digital environment. Because all it takes is effort and creativity and action. You got to take the action to do it, right? But it needs to be easy. As I mentioned, companies that have the highest inbound lead flow on Lawnbot are also the highest rated, highest reviewed companies on Google. That's so important. If there was one takeaway today, I just want you to take away that it's the number one thing we see over and over and over again across the whole country. The more Google reviews, the better the ratings, the deeper the reviews too. It's not just a bunch of 5-star ratings, 4-star ratings, but it's user experience stories. So actually people that use your product, and they actually have a story where they're telling about it, right? They're talking about Jimmy coming out and spraying my crabgrass or whatever. We love those. We love seeing that. So a good measurement, right? Your first goal is to get to 20 reviews. We think that's the magic number to, kind of put you ahead of the competition. A lot of people that aren't even managing their Google review. The next is to get to 100. I think once you get past that 3-figure 100 review number, it's a nice number. It's a nice big number, and especially when your competition isn't anywhere close. So we think that's a huge milestone to shoot for. Is first 20, then 100, then how do we get to 1,000? And there's companies, lawn care companies, that have 1,000 Google reviews. Now, it takes time, and obviously they have a lot of customers, but if you have 10,000 customers, you should have thousands of Google reviews. And if you don't, I think there's things that we can do to get you there. And main point, it needs to be easy. SMS, email. Obviously, I'm speaking as you already have express written consent from your customers to text them. That's a given. I just say that. But it needs to be easy. It needs to be a click of a link and boom, they land on your Google page and it prompts them for the review and bada bing, bada boom, you got your newest review. We do have a product called ReviewBot. Many people love it. We've helped a lot of companies go from 64 to 300 reviews to get that truck out of the mud. Great product and a lot of people love it, but I think Google My Business is so important, and that's why it takes up the most slides. Fun fact for you, businesses ranking in Google local positions have an average of 47 reviews, while businesses in positions 7 to 10 have 38 reviews. So look at that. I mean, these are low numbers, right? These are easy to get past. 47? You can get 47 reviews, begging your 100 customers to leave you a review. I don't know. We got to be creative with how we get those. It's super important. And the best part is it feeds all your other marketing activity. So think about direct mail. You have all these mailers going out. Well, you better darn sure, especially with the way the economy's going, they're going online. They're looking for you. They're looking up your reviews. Is this a good company I want to transact with? Super important. So on the right here is showing just an order kind of importance of like how you should think about SEO. Number one, Google My Business optimization. You want to optimize your local listing. That is part of reviews, but then it's also photos, right? Showing photos of, your company, the work you do, the results, that kind of thing. On-site optimization, so that's like page speed, load time, keywords, blog stuff, things like that. Reputation management, citation management, and website design. So what's funny about that is a lot of people spend a lot of time and they get hung up on the design, which is important. I think user experience is probably higher on the list than design, but because obviously we want to become but like as long as it's functional and they can become a lead, that's super important. So maybe that's something to reconsider if you're super caught up on the design of something. I think Google My Business listing is way more important in the reviews that you do. Brings us into PPC, the good old PPC. Good old PPC. So when we started our company, we didn't have money to spend on pay-per-click. We got these huge bids from SEO companies to run PPC for us, and we just didn't have the money to do that. I did have money to get Google reviews, though, and that's what we focused on. We focused on the Google reviews. So who's PPC for? Who should be doing it? And is it worth it, really? I mean, when you really look at all of the new lead sources, and that's how we evaluate things. We evaluate things on a cost per lead basis. So, yeah, should you do it? For sure. Is it cost effective? I don't know. Depends. And there's some things to consider there. So with PPC, I wouldn't even consider PPC until your Google My Business profile and website's optimized for lead conversion and you have over 50 reviews. So all this talk about PPC, there's lots of folks that should be focusing on other things. In my opinion, of course, I have been wrong in the past, but we get to see a lot of companies. I think that you should really focus on optimizing your website for lead conversion, and then also making sure you have at least 50 reviews, because they're going to see your PPC and they're going to go look at your local listing. And if you have 1 review, 10 reviews, it's not very good of a case. PPC should be looked at as the gasoline and icing on the cake, not a main go-to-market strategy in most cases. You can't just rely on raw PPC to generate leads for you. It needs to be part of the larger puzzle, and it needs to be reserved for a piece to that puzzle. So in today's world, in today's digital environment, I think there's much better places to get ROI, lower cost per leads. And that's what we recommend for our Lawnbot clients. When we go in, we say, hey, how are you generating leads right now? Because, right, Lawnbot doesn't generate you leads. it closes sales. So in order to close sales, we need generated leads, and that's what we go in and advise them on in most cases, on how to increase lead flow. So if you're going to do PPC, because I know there's some larger companies on the stream, millions of dollars in revenue, from people that registered. If you're going to do it, like I said, at some point you're so big that you need to have a piece of the pie everywhere. And that's, I think, what PPC is kind of the best part for is once you're big enough and you have a budget to spend on PPC, you do need to deploy those dollars. But you want to make sure that you're not spinning your wheels. Something a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these agencies get kickbacks based on how much ad spend they place with some of the PPC aggregation services. So here's some questions to ask. We don't sell PPC management services. We do it for our own business. We do a competitor keyword target for a lot of horizontal products like different CRM companies. So if you Google the different CRM company names, then you see Lawnbot pop up, that kind of thinking. But I get really upset because I attended a marketing seminar, a really well-known firm, and I asked them about Facebook ads because that's how we grew our business for the most part, was Facebook ads. We did have money to spend, and when we did spend it was on Facebook ads, and we were generating leads for $15 a lead. And when their response is, well, it's just branding, Facebook's meant for branding, absolutely 100% disagree. And I'm going to have some stats for you here in the next couple slides. But in terms of PPC, how much of every dollar goes towards ad spend? I mean, how much goes towards their fees? Like, they got to get paid somehow, right? So how transparent's their billing process? Do you get to see, do you have access to your Google AdWords account? Do you get to see how much is going towards commission? Ask them how they find their keywords. Like, how do you know, like, guy in Pennsylvania or Philly, wherever, how do you know my local market, and how are you going to bid these keywords? So ask them about their strategy and their vision and their bid and budget management strategies, and have they worked with other green industry businesses and got them success? Do they have a track record there? And also, what's my expected cost per lead, cost per sale? And do I get anything back if we don't hit those numbers? And most importantly, how do you track success? What is success? I mean, is it $50 a lead? Is it $100 a lead? What is it? And how am I informed of how we're doing? Am I informed every month, every week? Every day? That'd be kind of cool. I know when we're managing our own PPC, I'm a freak about this. I want to see the growth. I want to see the response. I want to see the numbers. I want to know where those dollars are going and making sure they're being maximized. So I'm in our AdWords account constantly seeing what keywords have lift and putting more money behind those keywords. So we talk about this more in the ebook. You guys will get it. Great time and worth the read on the PPC, because I know it's talked about a lot, but most important takeaway there is, if you're a growing business, if you're $1 million in revenue or less, and you have aspirations of building a big company one day, PPC is not some overnight success story. It's just like anything else, and it takes work. So don't fall victim to the sales pitches on, the PPC is the holy grail of generating leads, because in most cases it's a piece to the puzzle. It's not the whole ball game. So moving on to low-hanging fruit, you would be surprised, and if you're a multi-million-dollar company, you're probably already doing this. But low-hanging fruit, and we might give you something else to consider here. With the vehicle in which how you get the information out. But low-hanging fruit, what is that? Well, it's easy sales. It's cheap sales. It's cheap leads. When you think about low-hanging fruit, you have your current customers, your quoted not sold, and your canceled customers. Now, there's a really high-level way to think about this. You don't have any of this data unless you have a good CRM system in place. And from my experience, Real Green Systems has allowed us to run these types of campaigns because you're able to segment the data down to the year, down to the source code, down to whatever you want. Maybe it's you want to pull a source code of all your Google leads from 2013. You're able to do that within their software and then export that list and text them proposals, email them proposals, and mail them proposals. So I think low-hanging fruit is a great opportunity to grow your business without spending much money. And all it does is take a little setup and activity. We talk about this in the ebook. You guys are going to get it, about the low-hanging fruit, quoted not sold, canceled customers. But this is a good way to think about it. So in our businesses, we all have these 3 buckets. We all have current customers, right? Or unless we're just starting out. But quoted not sold, that means we gave them a quote at some point in our business. We gave them a quote for snowplowing 10 years ago. Well, that's a lead in my eyes. They reached out at some point in the past, and that's a huge opportunity to mine some gold. I mean, that's... As sales reps, we used to lick our lips when we were getting those lists. I mean, those are hot. That's hot material. Hot. So we got quoted, not sold, and canceled. And that's kind of weird to think about, right? Well, they canceled my service. Why would I remarket to them? Well, they've expressed interest in the past. And the win-back rate that we had at our company, we hit that cancel list. And yes, it does take some skill on the phone to turn a pissed off customer into somebody giving you a second chance. But I would say most people in the world believe in second chances. And that's the line we'd use. Like, you believe in second chances, right, Mrs. Jones? And great line to use, by the way, on the phone. Definitely feel free to use that. But cancel customers, super important to the low-hanging fruit strategy. So how do you bring all this together? What does it actually look like? Well, it involves pulling a list of different segments. So whether it's quoted, not sold, canceled customers, or current customers, that list has their name, address, phone number, email, lawn size, right? Because if you're using good CRM like Real Green, like many others, you're able to segment that list and have that data to send pre-priced offers to that person via SMS, via email, and through the mail. Omnichannel approach. And you know what? You should probably call them too after all that. There's key points in the year to do that in every market. Those key points are in the ebook, so I'm not going to cover those here just because we're kind of moving along here. But like I said, very high level. You have your current customers, quoted, not sold, canceled customers. I'm sure it's getting the gears turning in your head about, man, when's the last time we hit the cancel list? And if it's never, you've got thousands of dollars just sitting there. I told Eric, this is the $1 million slide. Like, this slide alone is a $1 million slide. I know I could go into any business right now, take their existing material, not generating one new damn lead, and generate thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of sales. And here's where it gets exciting. And that email, maybe it's a pre-priced email, or maybe we're driving traffic to Lawnbot. You know, it gets kind of interesting. So low-hanging fruit, I think it should be a main point and key point of any strategy for 2021. Brings us into Facebook ads, my favorite topic. I am a huge believer in Facebook ads. Like, if there's one thing I believe in this world, it's Facebook ads are hands down the best ROI in home service cost per lead. The problem is it has a bad rap because, you know, Facebook, if you've seen in your own personal feed, there's that little boost button within Facebook, like boost a post. That is not the Facebook ads I'm talking about. That is not the Facebook ads I'm talking about at all. The Facebook ads I'm talking about are using custom data. Lookalike audiences. We'll cover that in a second. But here's a couple tips before we move into the next slides around Facebook ads. Make sure your Instagram's connected, or make sure you have an Instagram created. That's important because you're able to serve up ads. You set up the ad in Facebook, but it serves to Instagram too. You got to think about all the Insta mamas out there that are on Instagram scrolling through. You want to make sure you hit those people as well. So make sure you have an Instagram created. You don't have to post too much. I mean, I know we only have so much bandwidth as owners, but, you know, throw 5 photos up there and at least have it there so you can show up in the Instagram feed, and make sure it's connected. What we see as an average, $20 cost per lead. And I'm going to show you that here in a second. 3 case studies that businesses that we went into, we helped them set up ads. We set up the copy for them because, I mean, they were Lawnbot customers, and frankly, we wanted the data to share with people later that, hey, here's the results that we got for them. Show me. I want to see the results. And we're going to show you those results here in a second. What should the ad look like? So, I'm sorry, I missed a point there. Needs to be a true lead generation campaign, not boosting. If it's boosting, again, I can't say this enough, it's not. Those are not Facebook ads. And they will probably suck. There's no call to action in them. They're not the best. To find out if you do have a correct Facebook ads account, go to business.facebook.com. Again, that's business.facebook.com. If you know what I'm talking about, then that means probably you have one. If you don't know what I'm talking about, well, probably means you don't have one. This is a lead generation campaign. So what you're seeing, this is a company, Mike Mansauer, an ad that we helped them set up. What we've realized works best for Facebook ads in the green industry is a eye-catching before and after photo. See, there you got the crappy lawn on the left, the after lawn on the right. You think of somebody scrolling through on Facebook and seeing that, and they click on this Get Quote button. Okay? When they click on that Get Quote button, they never leave Facebook. This is the key part of lead generation campaigns and why they work so well and why we're so bullish on them. Think about this. As Lawnbot, right? We're thinking about easy. It has to be easy. Not hard, easy. So they never leave Facebook. They don't got to go to your website. They don't got to go all this other place. They don't even got to type in anything, because the exciting part about a lead generation campaign is it takes their data from their Facebook account. So with Facebook, right, everybody has two-factor authentication now. Facebook has their phone number, they've got their email, they've got their name, and now they've got their address, zip code. That prospect clicks next and submits the information. At that point, you, as the company, gets that lead info. So that lead came in without ever having to leave Facebook. That's the exciting part about this. The other exciting part is you can set up an automation after they click next. At this point, we can have them land on Lawnbot. Like, that gets even way better. And guess what? Lawnbot fires right inside of Facebook in the Facebook browser. They don't ever leave Facebook. That's the exciting part about this. Well, other than this next slide I'm about to show you, this is where, you know, I'm huge on this, because for so long, for the last 5-6 years, while I was in my previous organization, there were so many naysayers around Facebook. You know, say, oh, Facebook doesn't work for selling lawn care, and all these negative people without even giving the platform an opportunity. But think about where everybody's attention is these days. I'm concerned with people where are people's attention, and that's what I want to tap into, that attention flow, and that we have the data to prove it. Okay, so as we go here into the next slide, here's some examples of results that we've gotten for other companies. Okay, the first one there you see generated 207 Facebook leads, reached 82,000 people, and had a cost per lead of $15.48. I mean, how many people would love a cost per lead of $15.48? Drop a comment in the comments below if you'd love a cost per lead of $15. I mean, that's amazing, right? Ecolawn, 351 leads, $4.80 a lead. Barely spent any money. I mean, blinked and $4.80 a lead. And this is the best part, or one of the best parts about Facebook, is the analytics behind it. You're able to see down to a fine-tooth comb, what is my cost per lead? How much am I spending? How much of the video are they watching? I mean, I don't know about you, but I've spent pay-per-click dollars and just felt like I was kind of just burning cash. So we're able to know for sure, because this cost per lead, each of these is a name, it's an address, it's a phone number, it's a qualified lead. Very important. So why is Facebook, and again, in the ebook, we actually link to a video we did on actually how to set these up step by step that I did last winter. Step by step, we go through and show you how to set up a lookalike audience, set up your business manager account, set up the ad, what content should you run, what should the copy be. So we actually show you how to do that, and everybody that registered for the webinar will get they'll get this deck, but they'll also get the ebook with the link to that video. So Facebook ads, data is key, and here's how it works. And here's where it's amazing. You know why there was so much focus on this last election around Facebook ads? Because Facebook knows everything that you do. It knows what pictures you like, what videos you watch. It knows so much about you, maybe more than your spouse, right? They've got data up the wazoo on you. And this is where it gets exciting for marketers like myself, because we take your data, or you take your data. In this case, we don't do a ton of this. You upload it to Facebook, and you create a thing called a custom audience. That custom audience is something like a customer list. It's something like a list of phone numbers, any sort of list. You upload that list to Facebook. You create a custom audience. From there, you're creating a thing called a lookalike audience. A lookalike audience is basically, you're telling Facebook, okay, Facebook, I want you to go out and find everybody on Facebook that looks like these people in my lookalike or in my custom audience, right? So that now Facebook is going out to Facebook, its user base, and looking for everybody that digitally looks like your custom audience. Well, that's really exciting because you can actually tell Facebook what percentage, how strict do you want it to be from 0 to 10. So what typically we do is a 1% lookalike. That's kind of what we recommend, and that will give you a sample of about, I think it's 2 million or 20 million people on Facebook as a sample size. So it's got this list, and then when you set up your ad, you actually filter your ad down to the zip code. So now you're only showing your ad to people in these zip codes using this custom audience. And here's the really exciting thing about that. Those people are probably lawn care buyers. It'd be like, here's how I like to explain it. It's like only showing your billboard to people that are likely to buy your service. Like literally probably one of the best advertising methods digitally currently out there right now. Any questions and comments, feel free to drop them in the thread. I'm going to pop on here after the stream because I do want to keep this under to an hour, and I will personally answer any questions dropped in the stream. And again, anybody can email me anytime as well. So moving on. Here's where it gets super exciting. Emerging platforms. We are so excited for this. Nextdoor. I'm calling it right now. In 3 years, we're going to look back and you're going to say, Kendall, I wish I would have done Nextdoor sooner. Why is Nextdoor an emerging platform? Well, their user base is like a damn hockey stick. It's going up and up and up and up. They're in 100,000 plus neighborhoods throughout the United States. And here's the thing. If you might be registered for Nextdoor yourself. Nextdoor requires you to prove that you live in that neighborhood. They verify the address. So, huge opportunity, right? We know these people are qualified. We know they're homeowners, and a lot of times they're on Facebook and Nextdoor. But what's really exciting is since Nextdoor is a quote-unquote emerging platform, maybe it won't be after this because we'll have hundreds of lawn care companies going on there dominating it, but the advertising is cheap, so you can get tons of impressions, and you're probably already getting customers from Nextdoor right now, and maybe you don't even know. So let's dive into Nextdoor for a second, and I'll take you through some of the advertising options in a screen share. Here's an example of a business profile. So in the ebook, we linked you out to the Nextdoor, how to create your business profile on Nextdoor to make sure that you're showing up if you haven't done so already. Very much like a Facebook profile. Allows you to upload photos, get recommendations, put your links here so you can drive traffic there. Nextdoor is really building out this platform right now. So what's really fun about it is the regulation behind the content they censor and everything is pretty lax. So with Facebook, they're very stringent on the ads that you run, which is a good thing and a bad thing sometimes, because if you have too much text in the image or anything like that, Facebook will deny the ad. But Nextdoor, but for the most part, they green light it. So it's going right out to the masses as soon as you create your ad. So here's an example of a business profile again in the ebook and deck following this presentation. I'm sending out to everybody that registered. There will be links to all of that in there. Example of a Nextdoor business profile. So we want to make sure first that you have your Nextdoor business profile filled out, and Nextdoor requires you to get at least, I believe, 5 recommendations. So you can actually get a link and send it out to current customers to get those recommendations. If you don't already have recommendations, sometimes people are already recommending you, so Nextdoor goes ahead and builds a profile for you on your behalf. So all you have to do is claim your profile, and then you get to use those recommendations. So here's an example of actually in the time I was writing this ebook and doing this presentation, they've actually came out with new advertising. So that's how quickly their platform's changing. It's literally changing by the week or sometimes by the month. And I'm going to take you through the 2 advertising methods here. Is the sponsored posts. So you're able to promote posts within neighborhoods, specific neighborhoods within certain zip codes. So what I love about Nextdoor is the cost. You can pay $50 and have your ads show up in specific neighborhoods. So, Joe Cusick liked to talk about it back in the past, marketing with a scalpel as opposed to a shotgun. I can't think of a scalpel anymore between literally, we know these are vetted, validated people. We know they're active online because it requires some effort to get a Nextdoor profile. Not anybody can just get one. And these are qualified people. So definitely, even if you're not on Nextdoor personally, I would create your own Nextdoor login just as a homeowner yourself and kind of see what's going on in the profile. I think it's very exciting. So this is an example of a sponsored post that you could do within Nextdoor. And their other big thing is local deals. So they're kind of taking the path of early Groupon. So Groupon was good at one point before it got crappy. Number one, they promoted you to a lot of people. You could get a lot of traffic and interest to your website and sales. People would go and look at Groupon, but then call the office, right? It was great. You can run a local deal and offer anything you want, really. There's literally no restrictions on local deals, which I find pretty amusing. But you could offer 50% off something. You could offer free soil test. And they allow you to run these local deals on Nextdoor in very specific neighborhoods. And then if you want to promote it to other neighborhoods, you just pay to make that happen. So I'm going to do a screen share here. I've got Nextdoor. Let's see here. Let me see. Minus out here. Go here. I feel like I'm on the Star Wars. Oh, cool. Here we go. That's pretty easy. So Nextdoor here. Let's go. So here's Nextdoor. I went on there and built a profile for see here. Let me make sure let me share the correct screen. Give me a second. There we go. Okay. Thanks for bearing with me. So here's Nextdoor. Once you create your business profile login, I created a little company called Lawnbot. We were going to test out some things, but I created a fake company called Lawnbot. And right now they have 2 advertising methods with Nextdoor. They have their Essentials plan, which gives you 2 posts a month to your neighborhood, instant access to engage with your local community, pay-as-you-go local deals, and reports on all your posted content. Or, and this is where it gets sick, okay? This is amazing. If you look at sponsor, you can sponsor neighborhoods now. This was only available to real estate agents up until like last week. So like as I'm writing this ebook, it gets super exciting, right? So these are some zip codes around where my business address is. And it shows you the amount of neighbors in that neighborhood, right? And it shows all the names of those neighborhoods. That's how Nextdoor thinks about it. It doesn't go by zip code. They think about it by neighborhood. So that's where it gets a little bit different than Facebook. But I mean, look at the potential ROI for this is unreal. I mean, talking about a scalpel approach. For $38 a month, you can dominate this platform that has 4,100 qualified, vetted neighbors and sponsor posts within that neighborhood. I mean, that's a sick ROI. It's a sick opportunity. Everybody should be doing it or look into doing it. I mean, in the North, we have many months off, so definitely look into doing it. But here's where it gets exciting. I can add these other neighborhoods to my cart at the checkout. Let's see here. So 4,000, 5,000, 500, 41, 42. And you can actually check availability in different zip codes. So if I do 49316, check availability, and it tells me how many neighborhoods are available and how many neighbors are subscribed to the Nextdoor platform. Like, insane potential ROI. Because here's the thing is, in a seasonal business, this isn't like committing to 12 months. You could just run it for 6 months at $212 a month. Like, what does that really cost you to test out this new emerging platform? In many cases, that's how we found out about Facebook, because it's such a good ROI, was we tested. We gave it, let's throw $5,000 at it and see what kind of response we get. So I think it's definitely worth a look if you're looking for, to dominate your local competition here in 2021. Let's see. Let's go back. And let's look at local. So here's where you would create posts, is in the content section. And you can upload videos, you can upload photos, and this would get pumped out to whatever neighborhoods that you're subscribed in right now. It also allows you, this is where you create your local deal. So you can either upgrade to a sponsorship, is what we just looked at, or you can offer a local deal. So local deals, you can do different percentages off, a fixed discount, buy one, get one free, or a custom deal. We did one for my wife's lash business, and it got thousands of views and tons of saves. It was $25 off a lash extension set, and it allows people to save the deal so they can access it later. Maybe they see it, but they're not ready to like commit or pull the trigger. But it allows you to set up the custom deal here. So we love Nextdoor. We think it's a super exciting platform, and killer ROI. So here's like a look-see into my my personal Nextdoor account. We'll click on local deals here, and they would show up in this feed, just like Facebook. And again, why this is so exciting is because, people aren't rushing to this platform yet. There's still a huge amount of opportunity for folks to leverage the platform and win big on it. So we think it's a huge opportunity, And again, if you want to dominate your competition in 2021, absolutely, you got to be utilizing Nextdoor. Huge, 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 huge. At least worth a test, for sure. Let's see, moving on here. We're almost at time. Channel partners. What does channel partner strategy mean? Well, we think channel partners can help any business. Channel partners are the people that do similar services in your industry, but they don't actually offer what you offer. So a good way to think about it is maybe you do fertilization, weed control, but you don't do mowing. Or maybe you do irrigation, but you don't do fertilizer and weed control. These are huge opportunities to grow your business, and that's exactly what we did at Lawn Doctor. It's how we got huge amounts of growth with very little work. Basically, what we did was anytime I saw, as I was kind of looking around in our space, anytime I saw a horizontal service like that, I would stop my truck, I'd get out, I'd grab my business cards, and I'd go and introduce myself. Now, believe it or not, I'm not the most extroverted person. I'm kind of introverted at heart, but I knew to be successful, I needed to be extroverted, and it really paid huge dividends because I would go up, introduce myself, and we had 15 or something channel partners just because our service area is so big at that time that maybe they did pest control or irrigation or mowing. All the services that we didn't do, we were able to refer business, and in many cases, they would subcontract work to us or we would subcontract work to them. Specifically, is we used to do mold control. We didn't like doing it because it was just a hard service delivery, so we started subcontracting that out to a local pest control company. It's a win-win because they get, it's always fun too. Like in this industry, it's good to have friends, right? It's good to help other people win, and they pay it back huge as well. I remember, and I talk about this in the ebook, a very specific example of a sprinkler company in town. We passed over $100,000 and closed business to each other in one season. And think about the cost per lead or the cost per sale on that. I think it's a huge opportunity for every business, but where another big opportunity with is think about your partners page. Do you have a partners page on your website? And if you don't know what backlinks are, look into backlinks. Backlinks are super important for ranking high in SEO. Google backlinks. How are backlinks important? So what you get with a channel partner, yes, you do get immediate leads, like analog leads. Their customers need services. Your customers need services. So it's a huge, huge opportunity to pass business to each other, but then also to grow your SEO through backlinks. You guys can link to each other's pages. Maybe at the bottom of their page, you have their logo, they have yours. Big opportunity to win big. Leveraging channel partners, and we go through specifically in our ebook about how to go about this, and then some specific use cases to do channel partners. Why are backlinks important? Backlinks are especially valuable for SEO because they represent a vote of confidence on the web. Well, if this person's backlinking to me, that must mean it's a pretty reputable site. So there's a lot of fringe benefits that come from backlinks, leads, SEO, ranking, all that good stuff. And a tool that you can use to assess how many backlinks you have is a new tool I've stumbled upon called SEMrush. And if you've never used SEMrush, this is an amazing tool. You can use it in so many ways. You can search your competition. You can search their domain, see what keywords they're targeting on Google. So you can target similar keywords in your SEO and PPC. You can see their domain authority. You can see their backlinks. You can see everything. It's amazing. If you don't know SEMrush, you got to check it out. Lots of fun to play with at night, as you're sitting on the couch or whatever, going through and kind of looking at your competition. SEMrush.com. They have a free version. But the paid version is well worth it as well. So I saved this for last because it's the most important. It looks like 70 or so people are still on the stream. Really appreciate everybody tuning in. This probably the most important key to all this is analytics. We got to know how we're doing. We got to know how we're performing. We got to understand where we're at on things. And how do we do that? Well, there are specific tools that we can use to do this. And one of those is the one I'm most excited about and telling you about, because I don't think a lot of people know about it. They're a startup. It's called InspectLit. We talk about this in the ebook, and we'll link to it and everything, but I'll present my screen here and show you InspectLit. InspectLit allows you to record user sessions on your website. What that means is every area they scroll to, when they fill out the form, what pages they click on, the traffic on it, even allows you to watch their user sessions live. Okay, this is how we make Lawnbot a better product, but this is also how we track what you're doing on our Lawnbot page. So you might have wondered when you registered for this webinar why I drove traffic to our 2021 webinar link. Well, number one, it's because we're running retargeting ads. So you probably been blowing you up on Facebook because we pixeled everybody. So it's that. But we also wanted to watch the user experience of people. So here's a random one. I mean, it even gives you their IP address so you can, it tracks their user sessions by IP. So people that are like stealing what we're doing or whatever, we get to see their IP and watch all their user sessions. But look, I mean, it's showing you, oops. Let me see if I can, looks like I need to share that specific tab. So here you can see now some of the rendering is not 100% because what it's doing is it's re-rendering the code as it was doing on the device when the person was going through. But as you can see, it's recording the user session. You can see where they click, their interactions, any error codes firing on your site, where they paused, at what point in the flow, where did they abandon? It's a very useful tool. Let's go into another one here. Let's go into like a deep one. It shows you all the links they click on. Looks like some of you guys are still on the page right now, watching from that page live, so I can see you on our page, and we track that through analytics and using this tool like InspectLit. Let's see here. I want to go to a page that has a little bit more activity. Okay, here's a good one. Share my screen. Oops. This is the other tab. So you see, here's our homepage on Lawnbot, and it's recording the user session. How are they interacting with my website? Where are they stopping? What pages are they visiting? Do they even watch that stupid video that I think is important, but is the user actually using it? Like, what's important on your page? So you're able to generate heat maps from this tool, and the best part is it's like $12 a month. And as an owner, I watch our sessions every day on Lawnbot and on our own personal page. Aaron, yes, we're actually going to cover that in a second. Appreciate you bringing that up. We will discuss that here in a second. So, like I said, super exciting tool. I think everybody needs to be using it, or a tool like this. There's plenty of them out there. One is called Hotjar. There's many, many tools like this that allow you to replay user sessions on your website. And if you're not using it yet, you need to be, along with Google Analytics. Everybody kind of has heard of, I'm sure, Google Analytics at some point. It's a very important tool, and, great to make sure that you're measuring your results. You can't improve what you don't measure, right? So it's super important that we do that as owners. So Inspectlet and Google Analytics, we link you right to that stuff in our ebook and presentation that we're going to be sending out to everybody that registered. Okay, and huge part of making sure your digital presence is the best it can be, because you can't improve